Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between NN and Lionel Kieseritzky. This historic chess game was played in Paris in 1846. NN had white pieces and he started with e4. Lionel Kieseritzky played e5. Knight to f3. Knight to f6. The Russian defense. Knight takes on e5, black to move. Knight takes on e4. d6 is considered the best. But the rumor says that Kieseritsky didn't want others to see his best opening preparation. He was saving his best Russian defense for the time when he meets Russians. So we have knight takes on e4, and this is not considered to be a right way for black to continue. NN knew what to do. Queen to e2, queen to e7. Of course, if knight moves back, then knight to c6, check, and white is winning. If queen goes to e7, knight takes queen. Back to our game. Kieseritsky played queen to e7. Queen takes on e4. d6. d4. f6. f4. Knight to d7. More pressure on the knight. White to move. NN played knight to c3. NN was thrilled to have this opening. As white, he lost with black pieces against Pedro Damiano and Greco, and finally he has a chance to beat a legend. Lionel Kieseritzky played f takes on e5 against Damiano and Greco, and then recaptured with the d pawn. Kieseritsky recaptured with f pawn. What is the difference? Let's see. And then played the standard move. Knight to d5, attacking the queen and the pawn on c7. This is the critical position of the game. Black has only one good move in this position. Which one? What would you do in this position if you had black pieces? Kieseritsky played knight to f6. White to move. Knight to f6 was played. Knight takes on e7 is a better move. Knight takes on f6. Pawn takes knight. Bishop to b5 check. c6. White to move. Should white take on c6 or not? Would you? And indeed. Bishop takes on c6 check. Pawn takes bishop. Queen takes on c6 check. This is not a happy time for Kieseritsky. Some crazy ideas were coming to his mind. Like, he was thinking that if he loses, he will call himself NN. Kieseritsky played king to f7. It is white to move. How would you continue in this position if you had white pieces? It looks like a funny question. But it's not. Yes, it is. The most obvious move, queen takes rook on a8, is not the best move. This is the move played in a game. Better move is queen to d5, check. Sending king to g7. And then taking the rook. The king is not well placed on g7. It is better placed on f7. This way the king is blocking the bishop on f8 and the rook on h8 when the rook comes to g8. Back to our game. Well, queen takes rook is the most obvious move, so we can't blame NN too much. Bishop to b7, attacking the queen. Queen takes on a7. E takes on d4, check. King to f2. Rook to g8. Now you understand the difference. If the king was on g7, then this is nothing. Black is threatening rook takes pawn on g2, check. Rook to g1, queen to e4. 3 attackers on the pawn, and only 2 defenders. g3 was played. Queen takes pawn on c2, check. King to f1. Queen to d1, check. King to f2. Queen to f3, check. King to e1. Bishop to g7. Again, if the king was on g7, this would not work. Queen takes on d4. Rook to e8, check. King to d2. Rook to e2, check. King to d1. Rook to f2, check. King to e1. Black to move, and to checkmate in 1. And the move is queen to e2. Checkmate. Lionel Kieseritzky won with an inferior opening, and everybody thought that he was a genius. And how did NN feel? We don't know. But before he left, he said, "I'll be back." He is such a good sport. And what does NN really mean? It comes from the Latin nomen natio, and it literally means I don't know the name. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.